So the big question is this: how are those in the self-storage industry like us going to be successful in today's market? That's the question, and this show will give you the answers. My name is Jim Ross, and welcome to the Self-Storage Show.
Things actually work out really well. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, it's like we use them in our office all the time because that's the one thing we're basically set up for telecommuting.
This we are recording. Sweet. Hi everyone, it's Jim Ross from the Self-Storage Show. Today's episode, I got Phil Murphy from Call Potential with me. How's it going, Phil?
Hey, not too bad, Jim. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, this is the virus lockdown edition here, so we're both in our homes. But no, that's why I wanted to kind of have you on. There's so much stuff going on right now. I know you guys are kind of on the forefront with everything you got going on, but we'll get to that in a second. Just kind of tell me a little about yourself real quick and Call Potential, and we'll go from there, man.
Sure. So I've actually been in the industry since probably about my family got into it about '92. So we're owner operators as well. We've got next door storage. We've got 17 properties around Illinois, and then really launched Call Potential back in 2012. It saw a hole in what we were trying to solve in the market, and then rolled out from there. And it's kind of been, no looking back as we keep going in. Of course, I never really thought we'd be having a conversation talking about a pandemic and how it relates to self-storage, but lo and behold, here we are.
I remember back in the day, I think it was at dinner with your dad, and we were sitting down somewhere, and we were just talking about, we got this idea for Call Potential, and like, yep, it's kind of cool.
Oh,
So where it is now, where it was just an idea.
Oh, it was funny. I spent months trying to find a version of Call Potential because I needed to solve it in my own operations. And then when I couldn't, before Call Potential, I actually was in technology. I worked at Oracle and United Nations Department of Defense.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, nobody has it. I guess I'll try and build it. And, worked out, hung up our shingle, and obviously worked out well from there.
That's the best kind of innovation. You scratch your own itch. When you need something out of necessity and you don't see it, you build it yourself. And then
it gives us a little bit, we think it gives us a little bit more insight too, in terms of understanding the industry. It's not technology for technology's sake. We understand storage. We understand the terms and problems and issues that people are coming across, and hopefully a better solution. So.
Yep. And that's why I reached out to you, man, because again, you kind of built it out of necessity. You saw a need and have solutions and all that. And there's a lot of people right now with everything going on and the lockdowns and sites are shutting down. They're kind of being forced to pivot, the way they've kind of ran their operations for a long time.
Oh yeah, I mean, we've seen, there's been a lot of guidance that's come on. We early on released a video kind of talking about how we were seeing it in our storage operations and what we were seeing from some of our customers. But it was one where even from there, the answers that we came up with 2 weeks ago, they're different today. And so there's been a lot of guidance that's, the SSA has been great in terms of pushing out information and the state associations. But as we've kind of gone through what they've really kind of laid out as like a 4-tier approach in terms of like the social distancing to shutting down your office to work from home kind of approach to complete shutdown operations, everyone seems to be trying to kind of figure it out, and we're trying to kind of stay ahead of that. So if you're in one, figuring out 2 and 3, and 4 is easy before you just lock the door. But really, it's how long can we avoid 4 and hopefully never have to get to that total operational shutdown, property shutdown, because that's not good for anybody.
So with that, a lot of owners, and in fact, I just talked to a couple this morning actually that they'll probably be reaching out to you, but they're just kind of at that crossroads right now of like you just said, what do I do? what's next? So I thought you just kind of shed some light on a little bit as far as some of the services you guys are offering that people can help kind of plug in to fill some of those holes and those gaps they're finding right now.
I mean, one of the easiest ones that we've really done is our collection side of it. We've got a few different things where, it's how do we get people touchless? How do we get people so that they can interact? They can rent a unit, they can make a payment, they can do whatever they need to do with the most social separation, if complete social separation as they can. And so, obviously people have looked at the online rental, but aspect, and that's been a very strong piece of this kind of COVID response. But the other one is those existing customers, and so we've implemented a number of we actually just had a 100 store operator we just rolled out in about 3 days onto they needed to pay by phone and collections and all this so that their customers could service without somebody having to be in the office because they were in the process of some of their states having to shut down offices. And so what we ended up doing, we implemented a pay by phone system. We have what we call a smart route on the front end of it. So everybody that's calling in, it automatically identifies the person calling in. If you're delinquent, it looks them up in their property management system. It routes them to the pay by phone system. It knows who they are. It says, hey, Jim, I see you got unit 212. You got a balance of $115. Would you like to pay? Yeah, I would. Great. Press one. Okay. And hey, enter the last 4 digits of the card we have on file. Da, 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 da. Great. That's it. Send the payment in, and they're done. So it's removing the barriers so that it's kind of cutting down how many people have to speak to an actual manager.
Yeah.
And then the other side of it is text, email, a lot of these other communication channels that people really need to be leveraging because the office is closed. It allows them to do that. So a quick text with a friendly reminder. I mean, the one thing we have seen people do is there's in the past, in kind of the pre-COVID, there was kind of a lot of our users would start off with a friendly reminder to a more aggressive to finally as you're getting closer to that auction process,
Yeah.
letting people know about that. Well, we've really tailored that back in this new era that we're in, at least for the next month or more, depending on how this goes. But taking a friendlier approach, taking a more reminder approach, so that that we kind of keep that customer goodwill up, but also giving them the chance to remember, hey, remember your payments due, so that when they do get money, they hopefully remember us to pay. So that's been a pretty powerful piece.
Nice. So you said, as far as I'm just trying to think, as operators are listening to this right now, for it plugging into their software. So I would assume you guys work in conjunction with a variety of different platforms.
Yeah, we're integrated into right now. It's about 9 different property management systems. So most major ones.
Yep.
So I mean, there's certainly some periphery ones that people might be on that we might not be, but we got a list on our website, and obviously you can reach out to Call Potential, and we'll be more than happy to be. Yeah, we got that or not, but pretty much you name the major ones: the Storages, Sitelinks, Yardies, all Door Swaps, Domicos of the world. They're all there. So and all covered. So
no, that's like I said, we need any kind of tools we can get to help leverage. So for the success for the manager, for everything else that's kind of putting on their shoulders right now, the more things we can help utilize to make their job a little bit easier right now. They need it.
Well, and one thing that we're seeing a lot of is I talked about the online move-in, but the other thing that people are having difficulty with is well, what about the person that calls? I don't want to just direct them to the website because if they get caught up, they can't figure it out, or if I've got them on the phone, I don't want to have them go complete it elsewhere. And so one of the things that Call Potential has really helped a lot of our users do is moving over the phone. So because we're fully integrated, that full move-in capability is built into Call Potential. They're able to start off the process all the way to move in, all the way to texting them or emailing them their e-sign. They're filling it out, letting them know like, hey, yeah, they signed the lease. Pops back up on my screen that it's all done. Great, go over to unit 212. Your lock's inside of it. They just break the breakaway tag off. In my own stores, I mean, that's really what we did because we were preparing in Illinois. We had gotten a shutdown order, and storage initially was on the closure list.
Oh, really?
And so we had started our tier 3 response, which was we moved all of our managers to work from home. So they were all answering calls, but we also needed to be able to move in. We took our storage units and changed them into, so every one, all the vacants, we've got breakaway tags. There's a lock inside of it. So you're buying a lock automatically when you rent. So it's there, it's ready to go. Break the tag, move in. Let us know because we've got the entire lease and process was all done. We had another one out in California, a mid-size operator out there. They're a Yardi shop, and they did the assign solution through Call Potential. But what they also did is they built into it because they use DocuSign with Yardi, the ability to capture driver's licenses. So they're able to take a phone shot of their driver's license. That way, they still get the full record of everything they're doing. And so it's all kind of each one has a solution that we can tailor and put in place.
Gotcha. Well, just curious what your thoughts are on this. You probably agree with me, but this whole virus thing that's happening, and it's like I said, it's forcing everyone to pivot now rather
Right.
than later. I mean, they're not having much of a choice. It just kind of seems like it's kind of speeding up the inevitable. We've been talking about automation, for so long, and kind of going more, the online rentals and just having that more of a seamless rental experience, quite frankly. And it just seems like with everything going on, it's forcing everybody. You don't have much of a choice. You got to jump in now to take care of your customers, and this is really the best way to do it.
No, I mean, I've spoken to a number of SSA shows and other things, and I'm a big, one of the speaking points I always have is you've got to do business the way your customer wants to do business, or they're going to find somebody who will. And storage has historically always been behind the curve on adopting technology and consumer, ability to have options and things like that. And so it's interesting because this is really forcing that disconnected consumer, that one who, you go to Walmart and you decide, do I order on the app, or do I go to a checkout person, or do I go to the self-service checkout, or, there's all these choices. And in storage, for most operators, there's one choice, and that's the manager at the office, and that's what you got to do. And if you don't, too bad.
Yep.
And so this is really making it where we're forced down. I think we're going to be here in the next 5, 6 years anyway. It's just forced us to move up our timetable.
Yep.
We've got to figure out, how do we interact, how do we do business, because a lot of people are sitting there, they're still talking about, well, come Easter or May or June or whatever. I mean, everybody's got their idea of when it's going to end, but I think there's going to be societal impact of people still, whether it's going to trade shows, or it's going to business trips or personal trips, or just how they choose to do business with people. There's going to be residual impact, and those that are sitting there waiting for the old way of doing business to return are going to be the ones who get left behind. It's those that are sitting there going, I saw a thing talking about, companies that were created in the '09 recession, and like Uber and Venmo and all these companies that are big staples now.
Yeah.
They're the ones who figure there's got to be a way to solve this now versus later, and that's what's going to happen in storage to some degree.
Yep. Like I said, I'm not going to say it's like this is a good thing that happened, but I think it's going to be beneficial in the long run. Quite frankly, like you just said, it's helping people really look at their operations.
Oh yeah,
And
we've had a number of people. We had a release that we just did. One of our customers, Guardian Storage out in Pittsburgh,
yeah,
they just rolled out an entire. They were looking to do their own call center, and they were kind of in the decision process. Made the decision. We need to do it in the midst of this. We need to get our managers off site. We need to have control over the way we answer the phone and how we deal with it. And we did a shift in a couple of days where all of a sudden their call center was up, it was rolling. They had their managers working from home, able to answer the calls just as if they were in the store. And then, it gives you the flexibility at that point. Right now each manager is answering for their stores, but they're also rolling over. So if one store is closed or a manager, because in my own operations, we were sitting there looking at it going, there's going to be a point in time where one of my managers ends up sick. I mean, we've got enough stores that it's likely going to happen. So we've got to be ready now, because if all of a sudden it happens, I'm out of luck until I figure something out, and I'm scrambling and getting a halfway answer versus a fully baked solution. And so that's why we started internalizing our own call center. And then we've started doing that. We probably rolled out 4 call centers in the last week alone for people. And then we took even more of our existing customer call centers and rolled them into work from home call centers so that their stores, if they need to, can close.
wow, that's like again, that's just a huge need that you're filling right there. So that's fantastic, man. Well, good. Is there anything else you can think of you wanted to make sure we hit on before we kind of say hi until next time?
Yeah, no, I mean, we've just done, it's just interesting the things that people are doing to solve things. And it's, it is, it's like you're saying, we gotta solve it now because it's going to keep popping up. We don't know, as business owners. I think our job is to come up with a disaster plan that's geared not for the next week, but it's geared for the long run, because it's our duty to make sure the company's around, because we got to make sure that the company's around, that there's jobs there for employees. And if we're sitting there thinking it's always the best case scenario and not preparing for the worst, that's when we get caught with our pants down. And that's
Yep.
not it's not a situation any of us want to be in.
No, not at all. But I again, kind of going back to, no, so this is a great thing, but I think people that kind of look at what's happening and not put their head in the sand and actually see what they want to do to make their operations better, they're going to be so much better off 2 months from now than they were 2 months ago. And I think that's going to be key. So yeah, the more we can kind of get the word out of what's out there for these kind of solutions, the better. So you're one of them. So thanks for taking the time and coming on, man.
No problem. Thanks for having me on, Jim. Appreciate it.
And for those that want to reach out to you and to get more information, where do they go?
Yeah, just go to callpotential.com, or you can email me at phil@callpotential.com or sales@callpotential.com. And then even on our website, we've got a little chat you click on. We're on within seconds, and more than happy to at least walk you through what it is we've done for other people, and even forget COVID, what we've done for our customers even pre-COVID, and why we've continued to basically double in size every year in terms of customers coming in.
Nice. Well, congrats, man. That's great. All right. Till next time. Thank you.
Thanks, Jim. Have a great one.
Bye. Thank you so much for listening to the Self Storage Show. Would you like some free stuff? Go to 3milestorage.com/free to find a list of items you can get for free that will help you dominate your 3-mile market. There, you'll find our free ebook, the Every Call Counts sales script, how to join our Facebook community, access to the next showing of the 3-day online summit, and whatever else we can think of to bring value to you and your self-storage business. So go to 3milestorage.com/free and enjoy.